What will you do if you woke up one day and you find yourself in life totally different from the one you have always known? Marima could feel something was wrong. Everything around her looked perfect, but nothing felt familiar. The house was clean and full of color. The food was rich and warm. The clothes were soft, but her heart was heavy. She couldn't connect to the world she woke up in. She didn't know how to act. She didn't know how to feel. At school, the faces were strange. People smiled at her like they had always known her, but she had never seen any of them before. She couldn't follow the lessons. She didn't know her own handwriting. Even the way she sat felt out of place. She began to panic but kept it inside. Everything that once felt far and impossible was now around her, and she didn't understand any of it. Her parents noticed that something was off. She didn't talk much. She stared at objects like they were foreign. She flinched at running water. She didn't respond when called by name. Her silence became worrying. They took her to a hospital, hoping for answers. The doctors ran tests and asked her questions she couldn't answer. They assumed it was memory loss, maybe from trauma. No one imagined she wasn't the girl they thought she was. At home, Marima stayed quiet. She watched everything closely, trying to figure out how to survive. She didn't want to mess it up. This world was calm. The lights always worked. The fridge was always full, but it felt like wearing clothes that didn't belong to her. Everything fit, but nothing felt right. She missed her old life, even with all its pain. She missed the smell of sea salt, the sound of market women, the way her mother used to sing while cooking. She had once hated all of that, but now she wanted it back. At the same time, far away, another Mariama was waking up on the muddy edge of a river. Her body was wet and shaking. Her vision was blurry. People gathered around her, shocked to see her alive. She couldn't understand why they were looking at her like that. She had gone to bed in a comfortable home, safe and warm. Now she was on the ground, surrounded by strangers and smoke from cooking fires. The village looked broken. The houses were worn. Someone took her to a wooden house. Two tired-looking adults rushed toward her and hugged her tight. They were calling her their daughter. But she had never seen them before. She tried to understand what had happened. The last thing she remembered was finishing her school project. She had plans the next day. She was going to meet her friends at the mall. Now, she was barefoot in a house with no lights and a leaking roof. The people around her thought she had hit her head. They gave her food she couldn't eat. They told her stories she didn't remember. She stayed quiet, confused, and scared. She didn't know how to live in this world. She didn't know how to sweep with a broom made of sticks or how to fetch water from a well. Her soft hands blistered. Her voice faded. The two girls had switched places. Each one now lived the life of the other. One had escaped suffering only to find herself empty inside. The other had fallen into hardship without knowing how to survive it. The world did not notice the change, but both girls knew something had gone deeply wrong. They weren't dreaming. They weren't pretending. They were stuck. And slowly, each one began to feel the weight of a life they never chose.